Hi, friends and fellow Earth Angels. It's Gladys, and welcome back to another one of my weekly Sunday card readings. And this spread will cover December 1st to the 7th, or whenever you're guided to watch, as the intention into these readings are always meant to be timeless. So welcome. I have to say, I am feeling exciting energy. We are in exciting times. It's a time for metamorphosis, transformation, breaking free. We are in the last month. We are officially in the last month of 2019. We are officially ending a 10-year decade. And so one of the things I'm guided to share with you is I would love for you this week to take some time to give yourself some praise, a pat on the back, a high five. Treat yourself in some way, whether it's something nourishing or cherishing for you. And that definitely doesn't have to be monetary or materialistic, but doing something for yourself, creating sacred time to give yourself some praise. And like I said, a high five to how far you've come on your spiritual journey. I come from a different perspective, as this work that I share for you is my life. So I get to experience clients' metamorphoses and transformations and aha moments and excitedness, and I get to experience that as part of my job. And I don't think there's enough energy or praise out there commending you for how far you've come. You know, those who are guided to watch this channel, you are at the forefront of planetary conditioning, belief system, old ways of doing things, soul group shifts happening all around. And over the next 5 to 7 years, we're going to start seeing more people awakening, more people going through the dark night. So I have to say, those who have been with me up until this point, thank you. You're part of the leaders. You're part of the ones at the forefront. You're God's stormtroopers who are going into it, that will be able to pave the way for other people that are coming into their spiritual journey. And I have to say, it's not an easy path, right? Earth angels are highly sensitive people, empathic people. We can tend to carry the weight, right? Carry the weight of the shifts. We feel it. But when you can use it for your own transformation, when you can use that energy to invoke your own passions and invoke your own light, it becomes that much more powerful. So I chose all angel cards for the reading this week. So we're going to start with the Archangel Oracle. And then we're going to get additional messages from the Oracle of the Angels. We're going to tap into the energy of the Angel Therapy deck, Crystal Angels, and we're going to finish it up with a final angel prayer for you. So all the cards that I'm using are in the description below, and I'm going to get right into it. So let me open space by inviting... Oh, here comes the sirens. It's so funny. I have been at my office. Most of you know I channel or record Saturday afternoon in preparation for the next week. And I just posted a pick a pile reading and the sirens came in. I've been here all day and I have not heard the sirens once. So Archangel Michael is making a presence. I did a pick a pile recently with the Archangel Michael, so I'm going to put that at the end of this video on the screen if you haven't watched that yet. I also just posted a pick a pile reading on what energy needs to be cleared out before 2020. So that will also be on the screen at the end of the video. Or you can go into my playlists and those pick a piles are there. So let's open space, inviting in all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, God source, creator of the universe, and all his holy beings of light who would like to assist with this guidance for you today. And I'm going to ask that the messages that come through be for your best and highest good and the best and highest good of all concerned. All right, friends. So connecting with that angelic realm, Archangels, what archangel wants to come forward to support us this week, December 1st to the 7th, 2019? Come out loud and clear. Here we go. So we have Archangel Raphael, healthy lifestyle. I can almost feel some of you like grumbling and moaning, but like lovingly and endearingly. Healthy lifestyle. So Archangel Raphael says, eat a healthy diet, get adequate sleep, and exercise regularly for optimal health. And so one of the messages I'm guided to share with this is, there we go. As we go into this final month of 2019, so in this 10-year decade, Earth angels have worked on their spiritual, mental, and emotional bodies. And this last quarter of 2019 seems to be where a lot of people are experiencing stuff in the physical. And so as that anything that's needed to come up, maybe it's pain in the body, maybe it's illness, maybe it's dis-ease, discomfort, it's in the physical where it's like undeniable. Like you have to attend to pain because it makes you uncomfortable. And so I feel like Raphael is saying that if those of you who are experiencing physical stuff, invite him in if you're experiencing pain, if you're needing the healing energy. He's the angel of miracles. You can imagine that emerald green light of his filling your body to overflowing. You can send his emerald green light to an area in your body that's that's feeling discomfort or dis-ease. Or in pain. But those of you who are not having any physical ailments, Raphael is also reminding you the importance of creating healthy habits, eating healthy, getting adequate sleep, exercising regularly for optimal health, because these are all things that are going to help you be in alignment with your own spiritual vibration as you start creating. All this inner work that we're doing is preparing you for when you start creating that business, that project, that book, when you start creating a clientele, when you start creating and manifesting love, a partnership, family, like all these things. You want to be in alignment so that you're manifesting and creating the energy from the highest vibratory state. So I've been talking a lot about how important creating healthy spiritual habits are. Creating regular connection with the divine, calling on the divine, asking for assistance, opening up to receiving support from that higher power. So for those of you who are challenged in your physical body, you can invite in Archangel Raphael. For those of you who are not feeling physical pain or have dis-ease or discomfort, know that this is a message to remind you how important it is for you to maintain and take care of the basic needs of your physical body, your shell, because it's going to be need to vibrate at an optimal level for you to get those spiritual downloads, be in tune with what feels good and what doesn't, being able to set boundaries, ask for what you need. It's going to give you the clarity, and that process and that pathway for you is going to be much more clearer, and it's going to be a lot easier. So what additional messages? Raphael, the angel of miracles, the angel that assists with relationship conflict, the angel that assists with addictive tendencies, the angel of healing. What additional messages do you have? Oh, so there's two cards that flipped here. So we have inner peace and we have fulfillment. I love it. So I feel like this is almost a little more of insight into what we're heading into. You get this card right here. It's perfect. You get this card of inner peace. So 6 plus 2 is 7. 7 is an inner, it's 7 is a spiritual number. It's inner work. It's going deep within and doing the shadow work. It's feminine energy. And it's no coincidence that we then here have the person going into the doorway. Perfect alignment. And this is number 6. Number 6 is like family energy. It's home. It's creating an abundant foundation in a lot of ways. And interesting, we have double 6s here. And the 2 is have faith, everything's going to be okay. So I feel like Raphael is saying, I feel like I'm split with the collective here. Those of you who are still being challenged and having difficulty in your physical body, again, illness, dis-ease, discomfort, pain, suffering, that energy. And again, it's not right or wrong, good or bad. It's an experience that's pushing you to be better on higher levels. So if we can lean into it instead of constricting and resisting, if we can open to receiving guidance and messages and support and nurturing, self-nurturing and cherishing yourself and being open to all levels of healing, it lessens the impact and speeds up the recovery process. And I feel like Raphael is showing us here what's happening. You know, we have this final stage of 2019, and like it's, some of you are starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You're starting to see the point of all this inner work. And there's, you know, I've seen multiple people say that they had the best Thanksgiving that they had in a long time, and there was a lot of family time. I myself was able to have a really beautiful experience, and it was uplifting and it was nourishing and it was cherishing, and I just love being around my cousins and their kids, and it was just a really beautiful day. And so I could start seeing the light. And I feel like this is the extension of what 2020 is going to look like. As you continue to come into alignment with this divine, this door is opening, and this is like the next level. This is the next step of what you're moving to. And you have this person right here. It's so beautiful with arms wide open. So we have to have faith and trust that there's this force working with us, and it's for us, and it's going to give us signs and signals and warnings, if that's what you want to call it, to shift us and move us to be in alignment of where we need to be to allow these things to unfold. So angel therapy here. Let's get into the angel therapy deck and ask if there are any action steps that you need to take. Now, other than maintaining the physical body, other than being open to receiving the gifts that are coming, I'm going to ask that in this angel therapy deck, the angels give us some support of if there's any action that needs to be taken, what does that entail? This one. Crystals. So it says the energy of crystals supports you and helps you with your present situation. So I pulled out my crystal today. I used a crystal, which I think is beautiful. This is my Moroccan quartz, and I love it. It's like glittery and beautiful. And when I hold it, I just feel really good. And so crystals can be a natural cleanser. So sometimes meditating, I had a client this morning that joked, you know, she had a lot of energy, and I love her energy, and she joked that I needed to take my amethyst and like put it over my head to protect me. It was so beautiful. But I just thought how beautiful it was that crystals, that we know crystals can be supportive, they can be transformative, they can be transmutive, and they can bring lots of levels of healing. So being open to Mother Earth helping you. So maybe you have crystals that you haven't pulled out in a while. Another message that I'm getting with this is connecting with Mother Earth. So crystals come from the earth. They come from the core of Mother Earth, and they're deep deep beneath, they're into the ground. They're in the unseen. So people typically have to dig for them and mine them all over the planet. So I feel like there's symbolism in the sacredness of crystals. Crystals are usually in the shadow. They're usually underground and they need to be uncovered. And so this is a perfect example of what the spiritual journey has been, going into the shadow, going into the depth. So I feel like not only having physical crystals, but also understanding the process of uncovering the crystals. It's like the diamond in the rough, right? Like they're made under pressure. Diamonds are made like under extreme pressure. And so I feel like this is another reminder of how far you've come. And when you're if it's a physical stuff right here, when you're under this physical duress, when you're under like the physical pain, the challenges, the appearance of suffering, when you can know that what's going to be uncovered is something that's precious, something that's valuable, something that you'll be able to use to heal you and cleanse you and nurture you and share it with others 10 times over, is powerful. So maybe some of you sitting with one of your favorite crystals and really meditating on the energy of it and asking it to speak to you, asking it to show you what you need to know, what its knowledge, what its wisdom is, but also to get to a deeper level and understand on where it's come from and the work that had to go into uncover it, because this has been our spiritual journey right now, and it's almost like so symbolic, right? It's like almost like, okay, we're going in, and in that we're opening up to new energies and new knowledge and wisdom and new healing powers and new healing modalities. This is why I say, like, the seeds that are planted within you are necessary and needed for this next 10-year decade. There's a lot of old, outdated information out there that a lot of earth angels have outgrown. So the world needs you to be an expansion, an embodiment of light. And that is where those seeds that God planted in you is going to be activated. And then you share that, right? Earth angels are notorious for learning and teaching. Like that's just the cycle, right? And so we have to be in that constant flow. And so you can learn from crystals. You can learn just from their journey and how they're uncovered and how people go in and support them. And then, of course, you know, when you go into metaphysical shops, they're taken care of. People use them on altar spaces. It's sacred. They're like sacred energy, and they each carry a vibration. So I'm almost getting the image. I'm getting the image that God is saying that you are to him a crystal. You hold these powers and these gifts that can help the world on a mass level. And so I need you to be healthy. I need you to be strong. I need you to be connected to the light. Wow, I love that. So speaking of crystals, you know what? I didn't even think about that. I pulled out the crystal angels too. So again, that's an exclamation point here. Me pulling the crystal card out of the Angel Therapy deck, and then also using the Crystal Angels Oracle card. Everything that I just said, I'm saying now it's an exclamation point. So what additional message do the Crystal Angels have for the collective? Oop, there we go. Yes. Azurite. And the message is deep emotional healing. It says your heart is ready to heal from past experiences, and you are willing to devote your time and energy towards therapeutic care. Yes, yes, yes. Exclamation point. This is where it's going. You know, I know a lot of you are getting those nudges, like it's time, and it's time to break out of these old conditionings, these old patterns. This month, if you haven't broken out of the repetition of unhealthy cycles, it's going to be loud and clear. It's going to be annoying. It's going to be in your face. It's going to be frustrated. It may trigger anger. That is a sign that energy needs to be cleared out, that the cycle is coming back again to show you that you no longer need to have this in your life. And so instead of like calling everybody and saying your energy no longer serves me anymore and just axing people, go within yourself, go to the light and ask Creator how you should move through this energy. This is that part of becoming in alignment with your own intuition. You know, people like me who do intuitive work, soul work, we're here for a support. By no means am I ever telling anybody, you have to do this, you have to do that. I speak truth into them, into what they already know. And that just empowers and expands the light, right? My light intertwines with their light, and then we expand even further. So we do need to co-create. We do need a support system. We need a network of people, but ultimately you are the one that's going through and doing the deep emotional healing. And it is really important for you to tap into your own language with the universe. You know, I've talked about, you know, you have faith in your refrigerator and the electricity. So when you go home, you know that your food will be cold. You have faith in your car, where you get in your car and you either push your button or you turn a key and you know it's going to work for you. A lot of times these are things that you don't even think about. So the divine being able to support you and being intricate part of your life has to be, there's that level of faith. Like it just is. Just like the sun rises and sets every day. It's a constant. We don't even think about it. We just know it to be true, and it's a constant. Well, you have to understand that God is in your life like that constantly. So it's not if he helps you or if he doesn't, if the creator energy is supporting you or if it's not. It always is. You just have to open the windows and go out and turn your attention to it, like this energy right here. I love that the bells are going off. So it says your heart is ready to heal from past experiences. For feminine energies, your intuition is in your heart and your physical body. So there's been a lot of heart healing. And I feel like I'm guided to share that you don't have to go back to your past. All you have to do is understand your past, old behaviors, old belief systems, old ways of doing things. And when the experiences come back again, you can shift it. Awareness, 90% of anything is awareness. And once you're aware of something, you can shift it and change it. So a lot of times people think like, oh, I'm becoming aware of all these things. It's so much. It's never going to get better. But I always say 90% of the process is awareness. That last 10% is the action. And so it can feel like the action is just the beginning. But if you can understand, it's like when we start to have awareness and we're like, okay, now I got to make the changes, you're in like that last mile of the marathon that you've just been running. Or you've got 10% left to get to. And this is why Archangel Raphael reminds us to not quit before the miracle. It gets more challenging and we get more constricted and we get more squeezed towards the end of the cycle. So that's why I'm saying as we go into this last month, it can be healing and cleansing and beautiful, or it can be constricting and painful. Neither is right or wrong, good or bad. It's how you choose to have the experience. I was listening to a reader earlier and he said, oh God, what did he say? Pain, let's say, and I'm paraphrasing here, but the idea was pain and challenges is part of the human experience, but suffering is a choice. And this is a lot of the work that I share, is that I'm not making light of difficult experiences. I'm not making, it's the glass is like half full and it's no big deal. I understand because of my own life and the depth of depression and the depth of pain and the depth of suffering that I've gone to, I can understand the vibration of I get to choose. And so I also know that through these experiences, I have been able to create a world and a vibration that's more in alignment with the truth of who I am. My clientele, my friends, my family connections, the people that are in my life, and anything that's out of alignment with that, I pull back and I leave it up to God. So I'm not saying that this journey isn't painful and it's challenging and it's really intense. That's part of the human experience, but you have a choice to allow bitterness and resentfulness into your life. You have a choice on the way you make decisions, being proactive with what's in alignment of your own beliefs and how you feel. And I feel like this is the deep emotional healing we're getting into, that bottom of the barrel stuff. And you have a choice on how to move through it. Recently, I was talking to somebody about my experience of fire walking at a Tony Robbins Unleash the Power Within event. I've done it twice. And right before people do the fire walk, Tony does a lot of inner work to get you in peak state, to get you in the state to walk the coals. And he's made a comment, like he doesn't ginger coat it, like he shows the fire, he shows the hot coals, and he shows you what you're in for. And I remember when he was talking that sometimes because sometimes, people do get burned, and Tony likes to call them hot spots, and there is a tent that treats people, but he also mentioned that sometimes people subconsciously need those hot spots to prove that they did something major. And I thought it was really interesting perspective. Now I have to say, I did the fire walk twice and I did not have any hot spots. I didn't have burned feet. I took it really seriously and I went into it and I was like, I don't want burned feet. I don't want to feel that pain. And I didn't either time. But I also, the second time I did a fire walk, I was part of a crew team that had a fire lane, and I was called the Fire Angel. And I got to experience and basically escort probably there had to have been at least 2,000 or 3,000 people that came through my line. Like it was just, it became hypnotic. At one point, the drums were playing in the background and people were just supporting people in state. And I got to experience people on such a deeper level. I value that experience. I say all the time, that was an experience where I truly fell in love with people. It was such a melting pot of cultures and belief systems and people all supporting and loving cheap people and helping each other through the fear. There were children, there were centenarians, and everybody in between. I heard every prayer, every scream, every cry, every laughter, every mantra. I heard it all that night. And you can see where people chose to overcome their fear. Now, there were some people that actually got up to the fire lane. They got on the patch of moss that is like your like beginning before you go, and they weren't ready. And those beautiful senior leaders waited and took the time to make sure that they were ready. And then they said, 1, 2, 3, go. And I could see the pain and the fear being released from them, the empowerment. And I'm just getting goosebumps talking about it. And it was in that moment I realized we have a choice, but we don't have to do it alone, right? So if you can think of God knowing when you're ready, God is going to support you and he's going to champion you and he's going to get you in state for you to move forward. And it's until that point, he's not going to let you go. That slingshot is not going, you're not going to get that go button until you're in that space. So you've got to trust that and be open to receiving support. But you also got to trust yourself. And that's what this 10-year cycle has been about. We are here reintegrating the energy of true love back on the planet. In order to do that, we really have to be 100% in alignment in our own masculine, feminine, individual, spiritual self. So, kind of went off on a tangent there, but hopefully that was supportive and inspiring to some of you out there. Some of you have heard that story, and I thank you for listening. And let's give a final prayer. What's the final thing that the collective needs to know this week, angels? What's the final thing that the collective needs to know this week? Angel prayer do you have for the collective? There we go. Oh my gosh. Healthy choices. I mean, we begin with healthy choices in healthy lifestyle, and we end with healthy choices. This card came up recently, I think in one of my pick-a piles, or it came up last week. I'm not sure, but this is an exclamation point. We must honor our physical bodies with good food, good sleep, exercise. And again, we're not talking about hours in the gym. That is unhealthy. It's not, I should say, cancel, delete that. There are people who work towards that, and that is part of their thing, to inspire people to be healthy. But not everybody needs to be hours in the gym. Sometimes, especially for earth angels, it is more beneficial for us to take self-care, like naps, walks, sleep, water, meditation, prayer. Sometimes that is 3 times more beneficial than an hour in the gym. So I'm not negating exercise, but I'm also saying most of us don't need extreme levels of exercise, because then we're just opening ourselves up for pain, and it doesn't have to be there. There needs to be a healthy balance. So this card right here says, thank you, angels, for guiding me to make healthy decisions. I feel like this is a reminder to tell you it's not you have to do more. This is not messages that you're not doing enough. The divine is saying, let us help you. Let us support you. Let us show you what is in alignment with what works for you. I started recently, I had back pain for like 2 years. And I started recently with this 30-day arm challenge. And each day you do, it's shoulders, biceps, rows, and triceps. And throughout the 30 days, there's like a mixture of each. I started off with 2 pounds. And then the next month, I moved up to 3 pounds and did the 30-day challenge. And now I am in the 3rd month doing 4-pound weights. And I can tell you, friends, my lower back pain is completely gone. And I laughed. I'm like, and now I have to say, I've also done a lot of shadow work. I've done a lot of work on my foundation and my core energetically. So it's not as simple as that. But what I realized through that process was slow and steady wins the race. Step-by-step process to achieve your goals. You don't have to go all up, all in. And if I started at 5 pounds, friends, I would have hurt my back even more. And what I also realized was my focus and my strength to heal my back was not on my lower back and my legs, and I needed to walk more and I needed to do more stretching. What happened was my lower back pain was connected to my upper body and the weakness in my upper body. And so I took extreme care in listening to my body, and I started at 2-pound weights. And I have to say, for the first couple weeks, I felt like I was wasting my time. But I was like, you know what? That's the ego mind. I'm just going to keep doing it. I'm going to see where it goes. And like I said, I just entered my 3rd month, and I have no lower back pain. But I also am very mindful of the way I move. I do the exercises slow. And I can tell you, friends, it takes me like 5 minutes a day, if that. And if I can create healthy habits with maintaining upper body strength in 5 minutes a day over a long period of time, I would rather do that than hurt myself and go through these cycles over and over again. So this is what I mean. And I was guided to that. I literally just fell upon that. And I was thinking, you know what? My back is so sore right now, and it's so painful. I can't even get out and walk. I can't even stretch. It's just making it worse. So I'm like, well, what can I do? Well, I can work on my upper body. So let me start there. And I can tell you, friends, it was like magic. So I'm not saying that is the answer for everybody, but I'm sharing my experience. And what I learned from that is slow and steady wins the race. When you take things at baby steps and create healthy habits, it becomes now I just do it every day. It's not even a thought. I have a chart. I mark it off so I know what I've done and the days that I've done it. And it's nice to see 3 stars now next to each block. And it's powerful. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comments, and I can put the link in the comments for you if you're interested. But again, here it is. Lifestyle, healthy choices leads us to our gifts, our talents, deep emotional healing. And in turn, coming into 2020, you're going to share that and you're going to help more people lessen the impact and speed up the recovery process. I love it. All right, friends. That was a beautiful message. Let me close space by thanking all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, God, source, creator of the universe, and all his holy beings of light that assisted with this guidance. And I'm going to ask that any healing that was started today continue for as long as it needs to be done in mind, body, spirit, and emotions in all ways. All right, friends. So check out the Pick a Pile that I just launched. It will be at the end of the screen, as well as the Archangel Michael Pick a Pile. Thank you so much for watching. If this reading resonated with you, click that like, share, subscribe. It all supports me in expanding my reach. So I love you so much. God loves you. Trust in the divine. Trust your intuition. And I send you love with heavenly hugs. Bye for now.